consciousness. And that's why Prabhupada insisted certain practices that we must all do. So this is one of them, doing Bhagavatam. Yesterday, Madhupati Prabhu texted me whether I could take the class. So I took this opportunity, very thankful to him, because whenever doing class is also seva, just as all of you are sitting in class hearing, that is seva, an act of devotional service. Similarly, when giving a class, that is also an act of devotional service. And it is said that whoever hears Krishna Katha, whoever speaks Krishna Katha, whoever asks a question related to Krishna Katha, whoever gives the answer related to Krishna, anything related to Krishna Katha is always purifying, and it is eternal. And we'll see how that ties in with time, eternal time. So this whole thing is about time. That's what we will cover over here. So what we have prepared for today, what we will learn from these four texts: time, its measurement, and its effect. So other speakers have very nicely covered what time is and what the Bhagavatam says about this entity, time. What it is, how it is measured, and what effect it has. Then utilizing time. Now that we understand something, we need to put it into context, because whatever knowledge we have, when we put it into context, into practice, that becomes realization. So we have a little bit more understanding, a deeper understanding of the subject matter. So time, are we being lazy, or is there an urgency in utilizing time? And then finally putting this all together in the conclusion and what our next steps should be. This is a very nice article by Giriraj Govind Prabhu. He is the disciple of Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. And in Back to Godhead, he has described this particular aspect of time and space. So Prabhupada has given in his purport also what is time, what is space, and so on and so forth. So Giriraj Prabhu has expatiated on it. So, it will be a good read, which is a nice supplement to not only this text, but also for the whole chapter about time, understanding the concept of time. So let's go now to Veda base. I have turned to Veda base. I hope the screen is still coming in proper order. If not, please interrupt me. Yamaschattvaraschattvaro martyanam ahani ubhe pakshah panchadashani shuklah krishnascha manada. Synonyms: Yamaha 3 years, Chatvaraha 4, Chatvaraha and 4, Martyanam of the human beings, Ahani duration of the day, Ubhe both day and night, Pakshaha fortnight, Panchadasha 15, Ahani days, Shukla white, Krishnaha black, Cha also, Manada measured. Translation: it is calculated that there are 4 praharas, which are also called yamas, in the day and 4 in the night of the human being. Similarly, 15 days and nights are a fortnight, and there are 2 fortnights, white and black, in a month. Next, text 11. Tayoho samuchayo masaha vitrinam tad aharnisham dvav sad ayana dakshina chotaram divi. Synonyms: tayoho of them, samuchayaha aggregate, masaha month, pitranam of the Pita planets, tat that month, aharnisham day and night, dvav 2, tav months, rituha a season, sat 6, ayanam the movement of the sun in 6 months, dakshinam sadam cha also, uttaram northern, divi in the heaven. Translation: Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The aggregate of 2 fortnights in a month, and that period is 1 complete day and night for the Pita planets. 2 of such months comprise 1 season, and 6 months comprise 1 complete movement of the sun from south to north. Text 12. Ayane chahani prahur vatsaro dvadasha smrittaha samvatsara shata nirna paramayo niruppitam. Synonyms. Ayane in the solar movement of 6 months, cha and ahani, day of demigods, prahuha, it is said, vatsaraha, 1 calendar year, dvadasha, 12 months, smrittaha is also called samvatsara, shatam, 100 years, dranam, of human being, parama ayuha, duration of life, nirupitam is estimated. Translation. 2 solar moments make 1 day and night of the demigods, and that combination of day and night is 1 complete calendar for the human being. The human being has a duration of life of 100 years. The last text for today. Raharsha tara chakrastaha paramanavadina jagat samvatsara vatsanena paryeti animisho vibhuha. Synonyms. Graha, influential planets like the moon. Riksha, luminaries like Ashwini. Tara, stars. Chakrastaha, in the orbit. Paramanu Adina, along with the atoms. Jagat, the entire universe. Samvatsara avasanena, by the end of 1 year. Paryati completes its orbit. Animishaha, the eternal time. Vibhuha, the Almighty. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Prabhupada. Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Influential stars, planets, luminaries, and atoms all over the universe are rotating in their respective orbits under the direction of the Supreme, represented by eternal Kala. Purport. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that the sun is the eye of the Supreme and it rotates in its particular orbit of time. Similarly, beginning from the sun down to the atom, all bodies are under the influence of Kala Chakra, or the orbit of eternal time, and each of them has a scheduled orbital time of 1 samvatsara. Om Agnyantimirantasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Kauravani Pracharine Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Paschat Deshtarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Kaura Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, in 20 minutes, let's try to cover this topic. So, we'll start with time and its measurement and effect. Okay, so keep these 4 things in mind as we go through the slides and discuss more in detail. First of all, time. We should understand that time is Krishna's energy. In Bhagavad Gita says, right? Time I am, 11:32, I think. Krishna's energy. So that is time. Time is Krishna's energy. That is to be understood. Also, we need to understand that time affects matter, not spirit. It affects a body. What it means to us is it affects a body, not a soul. The soul is spirit, spiritual, spirit, soul, correct? So time has no effect on anything that is spirit. Whatever there is matter is under the control of time. So that they say janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, birth, old age, disease, death. That's how it is affecting body. This body of ours, and we can see it when we were a child, how we were. The skin was a little bit taut. As we go older, it gets loose, wrinkles come in. So this body, and finally, dust thou art, to dust thou shalt return. When the soul leaves the body, what happens? That matter is taken. Some of us bury it, some of us cremate it. It turns all to ashes. So time affects matter, not spirit. Now we can understand time. To understand time, we need to understand these five major truth tattvas. There is the controller, Ishvara, Krishna. Correct? Krishna is Ishwar Parama, the supreme controller. There are other controllers also. We also, in one sense, are controllers, minute controllers. Krishna is the infinite controller. There are controllers who have more power and control over us, like a boss or the authorities. Then above them also there are demigods who have more control. And in demigods also there are gradations on the level of power and control that they wield. But the ultimate source of all control and the Ishwar Parama is Krishna. So first is that controller, and time is his energy. Second is the controlled. All of us, Jiva, we are controlled. Correct? Then we have this creation, Shrishti. Whatever we see around us is creation. That is also one of Krishna's energy. Then we have time, another of Krishna's energy. And finally, we have karma. So when we, the controlled, is in creation, the material creation, under the influence of time, we are performing certain activities. And these activities are action reaction. It is called karma. So we are in this cycle of time. It's going round and round this time. Correct? And we are spinning. Like if you put clothes in your dryer, how the clothes are spinning, correct? It keeps going round and round. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it goes up, then it is at this point, then at this point. We keep moving in the control cycle of time. And whatever activities we are doing is further making sure that we go up. Now, at least with the clothes driver, you can switch it. You could put a timer or for 80 minutes or 1 hour. It will switch off. However, this time is eternal. It goes on and on. We are under the influence of time. We are performing actions. Those actions are ensuring that we remain in this cycle of birth, old age, disease, death, birth, old age, disease, death. That is karma. So this is another understanding of time to keep in mind. And then finally, if you want to know what time is, okay, modern contemporary science says time is a measure of change. Now the same thing our Bhagavatam has said thousands of years. It's eternal. Bhagavatam is eternal. Of course, Vyasadeva spoke about it, and Lord Ganesha wrote about it some 4,000-5,000 years ago. But this is eternal. Bhagavatam is eternal, just like Bhagavad Gita, eternal. Krishna tells Arjun, correct? I'm talking to you now, a few thousand years ago, Battle of Kurukshetra, but the science was spoken like millions and millions years to Sun God. So from there, you can see that Bhagavatam also says time is a measurement of change or movement. It says movement, but what is movement? Movement is from point A to point B. The position has changed. When something goes from point A to point B, there is a change. And the exact same definition is what Bhagavatam gives us about time. Time measures change / movement. So when we keep these concepts in mind, then our understanding of time becomes a little more perfect. Otherwise, we have a confused impression of time. We use time all the time, every time, no time, anytime, sometime, in our casual language. But that understanding of time, this is the platform in which how we can understand time, and then everything in relation to time becomes a little more clear. Some things to keep in mind. Here's what Shri Krishna said: time, I am the destroyer of the worlds. Time is the destruction, and manifestations are to be vanquished by the desire of the Supreme Lord. That is the law of nature. We can break man-made laws. We can bend man-made laws. We can do many things with man-made laws. However, law of nature, we can do nothing. We are subjugated to the law of nature. Of course, there is a way where with bhakti, You could transcend the laws of material nature. But here, it is the law of nature. Okay, keep this in mind. This is Srila Prabhupada's explanation in 11.32, the purport. And whatever time you have, this is such a beautiful instruction by Bhakti Charu Swami. Whatever time you have, 1 day or 100 years, is simply meant for you to serve Krishna. Take this opportunity. That is what really matters. Everything else is Maya, bogus. Whatever else that we are doing, please understand, is just Maya. It's an illusion. It's like in a dream. In a dream, you could be anything and everything. But in reality, it's something else. So whether we have 1 day or whether it is 100 years, doesn't matter. Just be serving. Just be serving. Right? So this is Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj's instruction. So when we understand this, we can go a little further to go in its depth. Now, how is it measured and what effect it has? So going through the starting of the first text all the way to 13th text, okay, there is atom. That's the smallest indivisible part. Actually, atom is the English word, but now they say that there are fundamental particles that make up the atom. There are protons, there are electrons, there are things which make the protons gluon, muon, and so much, something which cannot be further divided. In that sense, atom has been used. Atom is a subtle form of time. What a beautiful concept this is. Now, this ties in very well even with contemporary science, which says that matter is anything which occupies space. Space and time is like a fabric. In fabric, you have a weave. One is going this way, another is going this way, horizontal and vertical. So that cloth, look at it, the entire material creation, just visualize it to be a cloth, correct? And that cloth is made up of space and time. That's what it is. And whatever is there, we have all these planets in the cloth. Just look at planets like a marble or a heavy round ball. Some could be a tiny marble or a pebble, and some could be like a big bowling ball in that fabric, correct? Now, when you put that ball on the fabric, what happens? That fabric goes a little bit down. It curves space and time. And because of that, there is attraction, gravity. All this is all Krishna's energy. Gravity is Krishna's energy. Space is Krishna. Time is Krishna. So that atom itself, when we say atom here is the smallest indivisible part of matter, that is also a form of time. And Krishna is within that. Krishna is within that smallest indivisible part. Left as is, it's the unlimited oneness, that all-pervading oneness. And when these atoms combine, different material forms like my body, the cat, the dog, the planet, the trees, whatever material forms are created. That's what time, and that's what. So time is matter, matter is time. E is equal to mc square, energy, time is energy. Correct? Einstein proved this. Einstein, of course, has done it in the 1900s or something. I don't remember the exact date. But here we are talking about like millions and millions of years ago. So that's also, when we understand this, shows the bona fide, shows that it is an authority. This is coming from an authority, whatever subject matter we are learning, and it's not just speculation. There may be times that where there is the Shastra, where Guru has spoken, and then whatever we understand from the matter or the material understanding. If such a conflict comes, always bet on the Shastra. Prabhupada has said, surrender with intelligence, but don't surrender your intelligence. So there could be questions, but let it not be a doubt which will eat in the mind. Oh, but the science says like this. Science has proved it in a lab. How can this be like that? Because whatever science is doing is related only to matter. And whatever the Shastra and Guru and Sadhu speak is not just matter, it goes even beyond matter, something which is called the spirit, of which science has no understanding. Absolutely no understanding. It's a hit or miss. When they said the universe started with a Big Bang, correct? Big Bang happened, No one knows how Big Bang happened, why it happened. Then they came to this thing of multiverse. Multiverse is what has been spoken since time immemorial in Bhagavatam. The concept of multiverses. Things come into existence, things go into existence. It's, one breath of Mahavishnu, when he's exhaling, those time scales are at the atomic level, and it goes to Brahma, 311 trillion years. All we know, science right now, whatever we know, is a mere 4.5 billion years. 14 billion, sorry. And this planet Earth is a mere 4.5 billion years. Where is 4.5? Where is 3 trillion? And this is happening since no one knows where time started and where time ends. So this is understanding that atom is a subtle form of time. Okay, it is measured by the movement of atomic combination of bodies. So when the smallest indivisible part comes and it gets together, and the time taken to them, there are certain units. Okay, and how they do it, according to the Vedic science, it is the sun passing over an atom. That much time is the atomic time. Similarly, our modern science, 1 second, also uses the atomic time, that there is an atom called the caesium atom. So when the electron jumps from one level to another energy level band, that much time is 1 second that it takes. See the beauty of this, the time covered by the sun in passing over an atom is calculated as atomic time. Okay, so now here there are some mathematical things, and believe me, I have this thing of always checking, double checking. It's curiosity. It's not I have a doubt or anything. Now there are these 6 atoms is one trasarenu. See, at that level it goes 6 atoms. 3 trasana, one truti. One truti, Prabhupada has given 1 divided by 1,685, something is there. It comes to 0.00592 seconds in our material calculation, one truti. Then it goes all the way 100 trutis, Vedas, Lava Mata, Nimesha, Kshana, Kashta. Okay. 15 Kashtas is one Laghu, which becomes 2 minutes. Now, if you actually do this mathematical, simple arithmetic of Truti all the way up to Laghu, it comes exactly 120 seconds. Exactly 120 seconds. And then it further goes on. Then it talks about Murat is 3 hours. Then you have 1 day and night, 8 praharas, 24. 15 days and nights become 1 fortnight, 2 fortnights become 1. This is pretty easy to understand because this is something that we relate to. We may never have heard of Laghu, we may have never heard of Kashtas, but that's what we come to, maybe a day, we come to a second. That's the maximum our limit is. It goes up to a second, but the Vedic science goes even splitting the second further and further. 0.0000592 second. And those are 3 trasenas. It goes to 1 trasena, 6 atoms, then it goes to 1 atom. To that level, it goes the division of time. So what this means is the precision with which things in the Vedic culture and the Vedic science, not just haphazard and guessing and approximation, assumptions and all. No, exact. So 2 fortnights equals to 1 month. Okay. Now, time is relative. We all know that. We all accept it. Why? Because a scientist like Albert Einstein, he proved it. 1 Earth month is equal to 24 Pita planet hours. And we can see it even on planet Earth. The other day, Madhupati Prabhu was giving the explanation. There are those little creatures, insects, whose entire life cycle is 1 day. It's just 1 day, 24 human hours. However, our 1 Earth month is 24 planet hours. So we are like insects to those Pita planet people. Then when the sun moves from the south to north, it is 6 months. 1 human year is 12 months, is equal to 24 hours of the day. So see how insignificant we are. We think that little insect which lives 1 day is insignificant. We think a dog lives for 10, 12 years, and his years is equal to 7 years. 1 dog year is 7 human years equivalent. But see who we are compared to the demigods. Maximum we can live is 100 years. Okay. Demigods live 13 million years. And think about Brahma, 311 trillion years. So on that scale, we are not even that little insect to Brahma. Yet, whatever arrogance, whatever ego we have in thinking who we are is much more than that 311 trillion years for such a small little tiny. So this is who we are under the influence of time. Time is relative. Time is accurate. Over here, we have shown it how. It is relative because you can see what is on Pita planet with demigods, with Lord Brahma. And time controls all matter. As long as there is matter, it is under the control of time. Time, I am the destroyer of everything. Now, utilizing time, is this lethargy or energy? There is time. Okay. Time is independent. It can't be controlled or managed. There is a myth. Oh, time management, time management, time management. No, you cannot manage time. Time manages you. Time is Krishna. So let us not be arrogant to think that I can manage Krishna. We cannot manage Krishna. Who are we? We are not even an insignificant insect. And Brahma is like an insignificant insect to Krishna. Our Brahma has 4 heads depending on the size of creation, the architecture that he has done. There are Brahmas who have 10,000 heads. Just think about that scale. And they are also at the feet of Krishna. So who are we, little insects, to think that we could manage Krishna and control Krishna? We are under time's control. So this thing about time management, but yes, there is a way. There is a way because Krishna, we have this concept of dasa, 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 das, servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna. And Krishna is most happy serving his servants, of the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. See the beauty of this. Of course, it talks about other virtues and other attributes of Krishna, his mercy, his renunciation, his kindness, compassion. Okay, so let's come back. Time is independent. It can't be controlled or managed. However, our attitude towards time can be managed. This is very important. Our attitude towards time. You know, समझ आज क्या कर रहे हैं? कुछ नहीं, boss, time pass. Time pass. He's passing time. He doesn't know time is passing over him, but I'm passing time. I'm just passing time. Time pass. Our attitude towards time can be managed. This is a very important. In the Bible, Jesus Christ has said, render unto God the things that are God's. Give God whatever is God's. Nothing is mine. Time is an energy of Krishna. So whatever I have time, it only makes sense that I use it in service of Krishna. When I eat an apple, that apple is not mine. I have purchased it from the market. I have the illusion that, oh, it is mine. I purchased it. It become my property. No. If it was your property, you would have control over it and you would be able to tell that apple, sit on this dining table in the fruit bowl and for 3 months you will not rot. Can we do that? No. The apple independently starts becoming ripe under the influence of time and it will rot. There's nothing you and I can do about it. So whatever is Krishna's, that apple is Krishna's, offer it to Krishna and then eat it. Krishna is so happy that you've given him an apple. He doesn't want an apple, but it's that intent you come with. You gave him, hey, Krishna, please. And then when Krishna accepts it, it becomes prasad, mercy. And that mercy is when we eat, it benefits us. Our consciousness is elevated. So render unto God all things that are God's. Okay? Lord Jesus Christ said this. Now, if we understand over here, there's Krishna bringing this all together. There's eternal time. Time is a controller. Okay? Time doesn't belong to us. हाँ मेरे पास बहुत time है. Don't worry, I'll get it done. This is the attitude of people who are lazy. I'll do it. Don't worry, don't worry. So you need a task which takes 1 week. For the last minute, they'll keep it. Yeah, don't worry, I have time. Why? They think that time is belonging to them. No, time doesn't belong to us. We are owned by time. Stop your aging process. Stop your death. Then you can say that I have controlled time. What is Krishna's? Use it for Krishna, as we just discussed. And that is the perfect time management. Such a person who's engaged with this kind of consciousness, no matter what we are doing, whether we are cooking, we go to work, we are serving our family, we are serving our neighbor, we are serving our country, no matter every thought, act, deed, whatever time that it is taking, is if it is centered around Krishna, it is perfectly managed that time. Perfect time management is use what is Krishna for Krishna. Time is Krishna. Use it for Krishna. It doesn't mean that only you go to the Mangal Aarti and do DT service, cook prasad. Every act is an act of devotional service if the result, if the intent and the result is for pleasure of Krishna and his devotees. Attitude of gratitude. Finally, the final slide today is Thanksgiving. Okay, we should develop this attitude of gratitude. When we have an attitude of gratitude, this time management and everything else falls into place. How it happens? Okay, there are different gradations. One level is the turkey principle. You know, today is Thanksgiving. So what we say, oh God, innocent turkeys are being killed. What has that animal done? Nothing. It's just a turkey. Meko khane ka hai, so I'm going to eat turkey. Oh God, innocent turkeys are being killed. My God, 40 million. I was just reading on the news that 40 million, more than 40 million turkeys will be killed today, have been killed for today. Just think about it, 40 million turkeys. What is their fault? That he's a turkey. Then I say, my God, 40 million are being killed. Then I say, thank God I'm not a turkey. Bach gaya. That is one level, a base level of thanking God. Someone else's problem, na, it's okay. As long as I'm not a turkey, yeah, I feel bad, but I'm not a turkey. So this is a turkey principle. This is one level of thankfulness or gratitude. It is self-censored. Thank God I am not a turkey. Then the human being with a little bit more intelligence. What he says, we had this prayer in school. It's 40 years since I passed out. Every evening, when after the last period, we used to stand up, fold our hands, and say this prayer. We give thee thanks, Almighty Lord, for all the benefits thou art conferred upon us. Hey Bhagwan, thank you for all that you've given us. We used to say it just mechanically, not knowing what it means or anything, waiting to just pack a bag and run home. But here's what a human being, like, whatever it is, thank you. Whatever you've given me, thank you. So that's a little higher level of gratitude. And then we come to the Vaishnav principle. This was another prayer we used to sing in school. All that I am, all that I do, all that I ever have, I offer now to you. Take and sanctify these gifts, and I honor, Lord, knowing that in serving you is enough reward. All that I am. What a beautiful prayer. And this is exactly what a Vaishnava is. Whatever, tan, man, dhan, sab hai tera, everything is yours. There's nothing which is mine. So you see how this attitude of gratitude, there are gradations of it. At the base level is, thank God, main bach gaya. Bodily. Then it's a little bit, okay, it's not me, it's all that you've given me. So whatever you've given me is for my benefit, and main khush hai. Thank you. But here it goes one level ahead, the Vaishnava. Whatever you've given me is not for me, it is to be used in your service. So this is an attitude of gratitude. So happy Thanksgiving. Or are we being happy that Krishna is always giving? This is the difference. Thank you very much, Prabhu's Matajis. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sorry, I went 5 minutes over. Just got. I'm so sorry. Hare Krishna. Today is a holiday. But anyway, if anyone has any questions or comment, we can post it on to the Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya.
Really, Amritananda Prabhu, thank you very much. Yep, today is a holiday. Also, His Holiness Sapat Maharaj's retreat is going on the personalities of Ramayana. So, we'll humbly request that you all take full advantage if you're around. We'd like to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Is a little bit what I heard of Amritananda Prabhu speak. No, we are thankful to the Lord, and